you hear me? Okay, so when I was asked to talk about Kwanzaa, I asked Petra and Karen and Lydia and those folks who asked me one special thing, and that was, could I do it a little bit different than we normally do it? So I want to talk about Kwanzaa a little bit differently than what we have normally talked about Kwanzaa, because what I like about CSL and what I like about CSLDallas is that if you notice, particularly during this time of the year, this is when it really shows that we celebrate all types of different religions, philosophies, cultures, that kind of thing. But if you only think that the ones that we talk about that relate to your own particular heritage or whatever is important, then you're missing the benefit of being here. So when we talk about Hanukkah, if you think it only applies to Jews, then you're missing some of the benefits that come from that. If we talk about winter solstice and you think that only applies to those people who think about New Age, then you're missing something. So what I know, and from being a speaker, I know that you have to always know your audience. And if I'm going to talk about Kwanzaa, I want to talk about Kwanzaa in a way that you get it, okay? So that you know that it relates to you, not just the black people that are here, and know that it's not just a black thing, but it's a thing that for all of us. One of the things that I've learned is that, and you guys know all this stuff too, but holidays, they grow, they evolve, okay? Now, Kwanzaa just happens to be a holiday, believe it or not, that has been around, I mean, since I've been born. So it's like a real young holiday. But if we, comparatively speaking, okay? But if you look at holidays like Christmas, you guys know that Christmas started off, first we started off celebrating Mary, then later on we got around to celebrating Jesus. Then they added some Christmas trees. From another culture they got mistletoes. From another culture we decided that we would give gifts, and Hallmark said, hey, let's give out cards. So we continue to build on those traditions, those things. And I think that we need to do the same kind of thing with Kwanzaa. But if you only think of Kwanzaa as being a black thing, then you don't see how it can benefit you. So I want to make sure that we see that, because that's the benefit of being a CSL, okay? If you don't want that diverse thing, you're probably at the wrong place. So happy Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is about first fruits, and that applies to CSL too, because first fruits are the first fruits of the harvest. And that's one of the basic things that we talk about around here, cause and effect, right? So you plant that seed, you water that seed, you fertilize that seed, something will grow. Well, something special happens when you do that as a community. And that's what we are. You know, it's real easy to see where that word comes from, because the first part is just common, okay? People that have something in common, common likes, common ethnics, common whatever it is, common beliefs, but they come together as one. And that's what community is. And what I've learned is that when you come together, just like Reverend Karen says, as a community, it's very, very powerful. And that's what Kwanzaa is really all about. It's about being a community. So what I want to share with you is the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. But unlike, you guys have done the thing with the match. You know about the match. You've seen us light the candles, all that kind of stuff. So you're like an elevated class for Kwanzaa. So we can take it past that, okay? So one of the first principles is umoja, okay? And umoja means unity, just what we talked about. It's the main thing that we're about here. All of us being as one. That's one of our main beliefs. The second one is kujichagulia. That's not easy for me to say, but it means self-determination, okay? Third is ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. Ujama, which is collective economics. Nia, which is purpose. Kumba, which is creativity. And Imani, which is faith. Now let me tell you how this applies to CSLDallas, especially how it applies to us currently. Some of you guys know that I used to be on the core council, right? Just up till the last year or so. So I was on the core council when we came together in unity as one group and decided that we want to expand our building. We want to have some more space. So what we did, we practiced that self-determination. We decided how that was going to look and what that was going to look like. And I can tell you guys, you may not understand how some of this works, but baby, we did some work. We visioned for it, we meditated, we prayed. All the tools that we talk about around here in class, we actually use those tools to come up with the plan to do this. Now for me, it was kind of different. I turned out to end up being the project manager of the building expansion group. But even on the core council, when we were just determining what we were going to do, okay, we looked at old grocery stores, we looked at old churches, old schools, all kinds of places. Therefore, we came up with maybe we'd go down to the building down at the end of the parking lot. We had all kinds of designs, but one thing that we held clear is that whatever would happen would be good for us, good for the landlord, and good for everybody involved. That's what we always said. And I'm kind of from the world of business, so I'm wondering, now, how's this stuff going to work? We're supposed to have a plan, and no, we're going to do it the CSL way. And we visualize it, we determine it, and we got right here, we got the exact space and even more, okay? Now, you know how we actually made this happen, right? Well, there again, I get to be on that building expansion team, okay? So some of you may not have gotten your hours counted. That's my fault if you didn't get your hours counted, but I can tell you we put out more than 1,000 hours to do all the demo, okay? To do all the painting. That's collective work and responsibility. And that's how you make things work. We didn't go ask anybody else how to do it. We did it ourselves. We found our own people that were good at doing whatever it was, whether it was Randy hanging the speakers or Sharon and Cheryl doing design and Darlene doing the design team. We used the talents that we have right here. And then you know how we financed it? I mean, now this is the part that really got me when I was on Core Council, because I'm wondering, wait a minute, now aren't we going to collect some money? Shouldn't we do this, that, and how can we do this? And who would give us that kind of money? We don't go anywhere around here and go get grants, guys. We didn't do it with a loan. We did it with our own collective work, okay? Our own economics. We did it right here with the money that we raised, no other money. That's that power that comes with collective economics. We determined what our purpose was for all this. We didn't just decide, oh, let's just expand because we're going to have more folks come. No, we had a real reason. And if you haven't figured it out right now, the main reason for the expansion was so we could do more with YFM, more with youth and family ministry. And that's the first thing that we got done. And if you've been over there, anybody not been over there yet? Yeah, you need to go over there, okay? Because if you go over there, you'll see that we fulfilled that purpose, and we did it in the second way, which is with creativity. I mean, Brandy and some other painters, you guys need to just go see the walls. The things that they have painted on the walls to get kids excited. That's one reason why you need to use the restrooms over there, because if you go back here, those little kids are all around your knees. There's so many of them. But that's this principle's coming and it's working. It's working. And that was our purpose and that was our creativity. And we did it with faith. And with faith, it all worked out. Now, sometimes, some of us didn't have all the faith, and some people had to hold it for others at different times, right? But together, collectively, because I can tell you, I've seen some times when Karen wasn't so sure that things were going to work out. Petra wasn't so sure that things were going to work out. There's a lot of times I wasn't so sure that things were going to work out. But there was always somebody there to hold that space, to hold that space. See, fear and faith both require the same thing. And that's for you to believe in something that you cannot see. And you have the choice. And our choice was to go with faith. So see, here at CSL, we actually practice those 7 principles to do what we did right here. That's how it works. So when you think that no, Kwanzaa is just a black thing, I'm here to tell you that no, you're already doing Kwanzaa. It's already a part of you. And what you want to do is take it further and let that holiday grow and mean something to you. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time in being in a place that discusses all those types of things. See, being in a community makes a difference in how you run your life, how you run it as an individual or as an organization. Now, I've got a great friend around here that you guys can see. If you want to see somebody who models all of this, I told her I was going to talk about it because she told me she wasn't going to be here for Christmas, and that's why I got to speak. So you already know who I'm talking about. But check out Tracy Brown, okay? Tracy Brown lives that. Her whole thing is about unity. Her whole thing, if you think about her self-determination, every time Tracy has a birthday, she'll tell you, this is what my year is going to be about. She defines it. She lays it all out. I knew Tracy before you guys knew Tracy, so I knew her when she decided she was going to be a practitioner. I knew when she made that determination. I know what she does in her own job is all about working with other people. You check out her business, it's about diversity, how we work with other people. Check out her Facebook site. What she talk about? What is mine to do? Taking on all of that. She's somebody who actually models that you can see right here. So if you're looking for somebody, okay, just go check out my friend Tracy Brown, okay? Because she actually lives this. Now, the way that I actually live this whole idea about community is through other people. I used to live here in Mansfield, Texas, all alone. No family, no nobody. And I was happy. Katrina came, and my older sister and my brother-in-law, first they came to live with me for 6 months. My brother-in-law, who's married to my sister, his brother is married to my father's sister, which is my aunt, okay? Who happens to be one of those situations where she's younger than me, okay? So because their mother came, they moved here. So now I've got my sister, my brother-in-law, my aunt, and my uncle all living in Texas with me. That was bad. But then my mom turned 80, and my mom lived up in Kansas, and she thought because she turned 80, she needed to be near her kids. Really, she wanted to be near my older sisters and have them take care of her. I'm just a substitute in all this. So she moved here, and I was furious. I was. It's been a few years now, and I've gotten over it, but here's why I was furious, because I've moved a number of times, and I've learned how to move. And when you move, you leave things behind. So it takes skill and talent to move, and Mom didn't quite understand that. For real. I mean, you got to get a new cleaners when you move, right? You got to get a new hairdresser when you move, a new doctor, a new lawyer. All those things change when you move. So my mom was from a small town where she ran the community. She ran her church. She ran everything. When she got here, she didn't run anything. And so when she would go to the hospital, she was mad because the nurses would not take orders from her like they would back home. And mom would have diarrhea, and we'd have to take her to the hospital. I mean, every day there was something. And I asked her, I said, Mom, what is it? What's going on with you? And she said, Mike, I think I just need to be under watch care. I didn't have a clue what watch care meant. And after she told me about the second or third time, I started doing some digging. And for some of you who don't know, if you're in an AME church or a Black Baptist church, they have something called watch care, and you go to the minister of another church in another town and say, hey, watch over me, okay? I don't have a church home in the city, so watch over me. So in case something happens, if I get sick, I got somebody who'll come see me at the hospital. Oh, once I figured that out, well, there's a real big Black church in Mansfield. I got Mom going to that church, and now my mom's 87 years old. I see her maybe once every 2 weeks because she's running so much, because she's found a community. They have 300 to 400 senior saints. That means anybody over 60. And they go run around, they play bingo, they go hang out, they go do all kinds of things. But Mom has a community now. And now because she has a community, you know, she's running stuff at somebody else's church, telling people what to do, so she feels good. But because she has a community. And what I've learned is that is so, so important. See, there's only 3 things that you really need to have going in your life. What I've learned is make sure you got your health, make sure you got your finances going together, and then your relationships have to be going together. That's community. If you've got 2 out of those 3 going, usually things are going good. And what Mom needed to get was community. When she got those relationships going, all of a sudden her health improved. Everything changed. That's how it works. If you've ever been on a team, you know the power that comes when we all get together and do stuff. When we have a community, you feel that team spirit. That's why they didn't let Tony Romo come back on the Dallas Cowboys. You know that, right? Because they had that spirit already. They didn't want to mess up that team spirit. There's power in that. If you've ever been in one of those groups, you can actually feel the power. You ask the music group, as a team, I bet they feel that power when they all come together and sing. Something happens powerfully in community. And what I want to leave you with is that idea, and that comes from Kwanzaa and those principles and that whole thing about community. It works here, it will work in your personal life, your business life, or with your families. Got it? Okay? So you guys didn't need to see me light a bunch of candles and tell you about the mat and all that, right? But now do you see where Kwanzaa fits into your life? Yeah. Now do you see how maybe you can share it with somebody else and say that, hey, that's not just a Black thing. You think so? Yeah. Okay, and you can do the same thing with Hanukkah too. It's not just a Jewish thing, okay? That's the power of being here at CSLDallas, guys. We study a wealth of subjects. And you don't have to pick or choose any one. Pick what works for you. But don't miss out on the opportunity of being here. This is a fantastic and powerful community in itself. And we are harvesting great things. When you talk about Kwanzaa, there's a special word that we talk about, and that's Harambe. Harambe means we pull together, okay? So I'm just gonna close with you guys giving 3 Harambes, because Lydia's over here, and she probably wouldn't be happy if I didn't do at least 3 Harambes, right? At least 3, okay? So here's what you do. You take your hand up high in the air, and you pull it down, and you're gonna say, Harambe 1, Harambe 2, Harambe 3. You got it. So, happy Kwanzaa with that. And you guys, I just love talking with y'all. Have a great day.